Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about an experience I had at a therapeutic horse riding program when I was a child, when I was in elementary school. But before I do that, I'm going to have to give you a little bit of backstory. I have family members in a country in Central America. Due to that, I had the opportunity to ride horses on a farm, Western style. For those of you that don't know what Western style is, it's where you ride on a saddle, and then you hold your reins in one hand, either your right or left hand. The saddle itself has a horn where the cowboy can put a lasso. Since I was riding for leisure, I did not carry a lasso with me. Being that I was disabled, I would use the lasso horn on the saddle to hold on. With the other hand, I would control the horse, either pulling it right or left, and it would follow me. So when we first went there was no electricity, no roads. It was all red clay. So they needed these horses to work. So I used to ride around on a horse by myself without anybody at my side on the farm. Sometimes I would go on the outside of the farm, but at that point I would go with someone. But I make a point to tell you that I would still control my own horse, and they may walk next to me or whatever as a safety person. So remember, this was when I was a kid in elementary school. So I then came back to school one day, and I was talking to one of my therapists as they were doing therapy. I used to speak with them because that was a break from class for the hour or hour and a half or 2 hours that I was with them. I would talk to them and tell them the things that I would do. So they knew that I liked horses. So then they talked to my mom and me about this program. So I decided to go see what it was. It was a therapeutic program. It was in a local park that wasn't far away from me. It was close there. So I went, and this training, we had something called therapeutic training. We had sidewalkers. What that means is people would walk next to us. They would walk next to us. We were in a ring. They were teaching us, and these people were teaching us English style writing. Well, so I did it for a while, and I enjoyed it for a while. But then I said, I liked the freedom of riding a horse on my own. But I realized that they were not doing this. In turn, the class that I'm talking about right now was at 9 or 10 o'clock. I think it was 10 o'clock. And I realized that I liked the people, and I would talk to the horse owners because they would bring their horses. As volunteers, they would bring their horses for us to use in the classes. So I spoke to her I was speaking to some of them, and one of them, I was 9 or 10 years old, and so I had something in common with this one female adult. We would sit and talk about horses. I would stay until the last class. So we got to talking. I used to feed the horses carrots, apples, etc. And got to talking, and she really realized that I liked these horses. So one day, she asked me if I wanted to go to a horse stable, because here in the United States where I live, we cannot have horses in the city. They have to have horses at horse stable. Don't forget, I was around horses. I saw how they take care of them, etc. When I was visiting Costa Rica. So so she took me. We went to. She was cleaning her horse. She showed me how she did this, and we went to I got in a truck with her, and we went to the feed store, and she showed me what she bought for her horse and how it bathed. And how she bathed it, and I got the opportunity to clean its feet, because in Florida they have here in the U.S. since we have paved roads, we have to have horseshoes. So we did this. They showed us all this. To make a long story short, I really loved that. I found that I loved the horses, but I was getting tired of getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning and going to these classes that I wasn't really interested in. The end goal of these classes was to teach jumping. I realized that I was not interested in jumping. All I wanted to do was ride horses. So, after a while, I decided to get up. And I told Mom, I said, Mom, I'm bored. I don't want to go anymore. So, okay. This was a bit tolerable. And so this was tolerable because so she told me, okay, let's wait for someone to leave that was leaving, and then you can quit when that person leaves. The moral of the story here today is, even when you're a child, parents, please listen to your children, because it might be something that you think they're enjoying, or they might not be. But understand that I enjoyed the horses. I enjoyed that, but I did not enjoy the regimented class. Yeah. So because of that, I quit. Now, due to the fact that I have scoliosis and I've hurt my back because of my disability, I still love horses, but I don't ride them anymore because I don't want to hurt my back. Now, I'm going to ask you something. Now, I'm going to say something. If you feel so inclined, please rate, follow on all the podcast, on any podcast platform that you're listening to me on. Please rate and follow, because if you follow me and you subscribe to me, you will see a notification when I post, when I upload another episode. With that, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. The Disabled Guy signing off.